Massive mix here on my board. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pedals. Actually, I've got 10. But some guys love effects and use them loads. Some guys don't really go near them at all. For me, working as a producer, you use effects a lot of the time to create a nice mix and a nice blend between things. And for me, this is all about finding sounds that work well in the band, that blend my bass in. Sometimes things like the sub-octave or the multi-drive are just to give a bigger bass sound for choruses or big riffs in tunes. Things like the tremolo, the reverb, the chorus are more for anything where the bass is exposed and you want to create particular sounds within that. But this comes out to me on every gig because it's all hardwired. I'd say at least the first 3 pedals I use on almost every gig, and then the other ones just as and when they're needed. It's that thing where people, production-wise, use so many different sounds and effects these days. I think it's slightly short-sighted to not have any of that stuff in your arsenal, to just go, I turn it with a dry bass sound and that's all I know how to do. You know, I think makes you a little bit, it's a traditional vibe and it's cool, but a little bit maybe less employable or less relevant in the contemporary music scene. And I'll just run through each of them in sequence and you can have a little listen to what they do. So the first one is a multi-comp. It's just a compressor. I basically just use it to tighten up the sound. When I play 6-string, the low end and the high end can be very different from each other in terms of how they respond, and it's hard to set your amp in a way that projects both. So by sticking the compressor on, it will boost whatever's missing and cut a little bit of whatever's overwhelming in it. So that's me playing without it. And with it, you can hear it just sort of has a bit more poke and projection. The next one, and this might be my favorite pedal, is the sub-octave. And this creates a synthesized octave below the one that you're playing. And you can mix how much of the natural sound and much of the octave you have. So if you turn the natural one completely off, you just get this synth. The next one is the multi-drive, which is just a sort of universal overdrive pedal, it's called. It has 3 different modes that you can use. I like the tube simulator one, quite a nice warm distortion. And I like using distortion with the bridge pickup. And it can just, for certain rock things, I'll slam that on during a chorus or during a particularly big riff, and it just really helps it project out. The metal drive is just basically similar to the multi-drive, but even dirtier. So we're doing all the... all kinds of shreddy stuff it's useful for. Bass IQ is a big favorite. It's a dynamic pedal, so if you hit it really hard or if you plug it softly, you get a different response out of it. It's important when you get those pedals to sort of figure out what volume you're going to be playing at and then set it accordingly. It's possible to set it wrong and then you can play and it actually just won't do anything because you're not triggering the envelope. Another favorite of mine, because it just instantly sounds like Anthony Jackson, is the phaser pedal. And it's just a really nice, indicative, characteristic sound that you can't really simulate with any other pedal. Also have a nice chorus pedal here. Whenever I was growing up, there were loads of rock bass players that used choruses to sort of soften out the sound, so it's nice having that. It also has a flanger mode, which is quite nice. There's a bass reverb, which sounds... It doesn't seem like the sort of pedal you'd ideally need a lot, but for certain things, if you're playing harmonics or any kind of solo melody stuff, it just gives a little bit more length and sort of depth to the sound. And then the last one, which is another thing that I sort of, when I first got it, I didn't think I'd find that many uses for it, and I absolutely love it. So the old tremolo pedal, and this is really nice because it's quite an extreme setting, but you can ease it down. Bit of chorus, bit of reverb, bit of tremolo.